Well, it's about 6:30 at night after work, and I'm gonna walk out here and I think I'm ready to start prepping the bed to go back on. There's a few things I want to do to it. I'll show you. All right, on this bed, there are some things that need to be fixed before I put it on. So one of the biggest things is on these sides, they no longer have the bar that stabilizes those. I'll show you up underneath there. See, it's deleted. There's one on the top, but none on the bottom. Last night I cut a couple pieces of metal that I think will work. And then down here, these still need to be welded, or they broke off, and I want to get that while it's off the bed or off the truck. So then the other thing is up underneath there. Up underneath, I want to tip it up and address where it's been welded, maybe paint those seams. And then there's some rust up in there that I'd like to wire brush and maybe put some core seal and some paint on. I'm not going to do a whole bunch, but I want to do a few things. I don't know what I do about stuff like this. Look at this. If I pop that paint, there's rust underneath there. There's rust underneath there. There's rust right there. What do? I could grind it off and repaint it, but I wasn't doing that with this thing. I was going to clear coat everything, was what I was thinking. Lock it all in. And then drive it like that. Because that way, if I get a scratch on it, it's not the end of the world. If I went through the hassle and expense of painting it, and I get a scratch on it, oh, that won't be, you won't be a happy camper. Yeah, I pulled this out too. I don't know if I mentioned that. But I think what I'm going to do is try to weld those supports in tonight, maybe that corner, and then see if I need anything else before I tip it up on its side. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to utilize that bracket that's still up there and that piece that's down there. And I cut a piece of metal last night. I primed it, painted it. I didn't finish painting it because I ran out of paint, but I painted enough. I'll just weld it to there and to there, and voila, I'll have a brace. I'm just going to try to put it where it naturally is and see what that does without bending the panel in or out. Well, that's gonna hold it enough for me to at least hold those sides in place. Flip it upside down, or flip it on the edge, and these shouldn't move for the time being. I'll do the other side real quick. I've got it good enough to hold, so hopefully when I tip up that bed, I'm not going to bend those, and then I can get in there a little bit easier. It's heavy.
No, this underneath this, it's like salt. This is a mess under here.
No, that's not a mess.
This looks like all corrosion.
That's factory undercoating.
Really? This
Yeah,
is horrible.
it's all factory undercoating.
It's like I just drove on the road with a bunch of salt.
Yeah, Wyatt says this is a mess under here. It's just factory undercoating. And that's where the grease from the drive line flips up. But what I wanted to come in, I wanted to wire wheel up in here. And let me get a light.
Are you gonna redo all this wiring? Might as well.
I wanted to wire wheel up in there and put some chlorophyll on it. I'm not gonna go hog wild and redo all this, but where that's been welded down there and where I'm gonna be welding up there, I'd like to hit the most rusted spots. I want to hit the most rusted spots so I can take care of some of the rust. But you know as well as I do, this whole truck has a lot of surface rust. The only rust on the cab is right there in the back, right there. They're all rusted out in the back. But that's what I wanted to do. Get up there so I can clean a few things up. Those are the braces I just put in. You can see why I wanted to put those in. And there's the other one. And they're booger welds. But now I can see, and now I can get to them. And so I can take care of that. Hey, there's a hornet's nest up in there. Alrighty, this is gonna get out of hand real fast. So my goal was to just get up in here where all the debris hits off the tires in this side pocket and clean it up a little bit and put some coral seal to stop the rust. But as I wire wheeled, the majority of the rust is just surface rust, and there's not any holes anywhere. The only holes are where this was welded in, and there are some rust over here, so you can see this. So all this, I'll backlight it. So there's lots of holes over here, lots of metal that needs to be fixed. There's another view. But down in here, it's all surface rust. And the right way to do it, if I was restoring this all the way, would be to sandblast it. But I'm just going to stick to my original plan. Hit those spots, re-weld those two rods, inspect everything, and then put some paint on some spots, and or some Corsil and some paint, and then put it back on the truck and finish welding the whole bed. The whole bed needs to be finished welded. So I'm going to stick to that plan. I'm going to blow that out and put some Corsil on it. All right, well, I need to go get some paint and see what I can do about that. I still need to re-weld those rods, but I'll have to pick that up another night. Have some other things to take care of. Well, it's the next night, and I got some Rust-Oleum truck bed liner I'm going to spray on here so it can cover what we did with that rust converter. So everywhere it turned black up in there is where I wire wheeled and put that rust converter on. I could do the whole thing. I seriously could spray this whole thing with rust converter. But I don't think I'm going to. And gosh, that's a lot of grease on there. I probably should scrape that off too. Let's spray some of this stuff. Whew, that's strong. I was just tacking a few spots on the back there that wasn't secured. And that was my way of practicing welding some of this stuff because I got to do it when it's on the cab. I have a little rub spot here where the bed was rubbing against the cab that I want to see if I can do something about. Now remember, my plan is to clear coat. Right now, that's my plan. Clear coat this whole truck. But I don't want raw metal back here. So let me show you what I'm thinking. All right. This is Boxwood Green Factory. This whole truck's factory paint. But that bed was pushed up against that cab. I bent that bed back. Bed is over there, sitting up on its end. And so it won't rub anymore, but I need to do something about that before I put the bed on. I can order Boxwood Green aerosol. It's $50 a can, but it's not going to match. So I went down to Home Depot just now, and I bought a couple different colors of Rust-Oleum green, moss green, and hunter green. And I'm wondering if this hunter green, the one on the right, maybe a mixture. I don't know. All I need to do is cover that that bare metal, and then I'll feel better about it. I'm not trying to do anything fancy. Just cover that so when I put the bed on, it's not going to sit and rust right there on the cab. So I think I'm first going to try this hunter green, see what that does, and then go from there. But I'm going to spray it in this lid. That should be enough. And then I got a paintbrush. This is arts and crafts today. Got a paintbrush kit. I'm going to pick one of these and see what it does. We'll start down here. It's a little dark. I might have to use both of them. Yep, that's too dark. So let's spray some of that mossy oak thingy in here. Okay, I lightened it up a bit. This looks pretty close. Need to lighten it up even more. Yep, gotta lighten it up even more. Well, that dries really fast. Boy, in this cup, it sure looks really close. I ought to be a painter. Yep, I ought to be a painter. I think I might get some brake clean and wipe that off. Put a little bit more of this moss. It might just be straight moss. Maybe that's what I should have done. Moss green's a ticket, I think. Okay, this is what it looks like wet. I'm gonna play with it a little bit, maybe even wet sand it once it dries. See what that does. I'm gonna try some on the bed too, where this was exposed, but I don't know if I can get to it. But I'll try in a minute. Well, the bed's all prepped. I think I'm gonna call it for the night. And next video, we're going to put the bed back on here. That'll be fun. Thanks for watching.